This is Jill, and look how she's working, how the sails are going. Right, so there's a fresh breeze up. Is that force 4 on the wind scale? Okay, so the sails can actually move. I mean, I don't just mean by the wind, they can point them to the windiest direction. And you see how they've got this rope up to say don't come close. It was very, very dangerous being hit by one of those. Okay, so the Dutch invented these many centuries ago. They were dotted all over the world till the late 19th century began dismantling them. The sweeps, as they call them in Sussex, rather than sails. You see it says sweeps. Okay, so they just started going at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Right up in those windows. This one's white. Well, traditionally the moving parts are white because the above the ground floor the whole thing can move, and the non-moving parts are black. So this is Jill, and Jack is close by, but they're not twins. They don't look that similar. Well, certainly not identical twins. Go in, there's a little cafe on the ground floor, but there's no place which to relieve yourself. Okay. And look at these, the ladder to climb up and down. There's a grindstone. Grindstone in here was stolen a few years ago. Think, why would you want to do that? Stolen to order, perhaps. So I was up there, and you see, this is the fan tackle, and these little wheels here. So for every complete revolution of these blades, those wheels move an inch, but when a very, very strong wind could do a complete revolution in a few minutes. So there we go, extraordinary. Look how greased they are. Don't put your fingers in there, that's why they've got those bars there, lest they get crushed. So for elfin safety, it's a bit surprising you're allowed to do that. So walk up on your own, and there's the guide in there, volunteer, he'll tell you what it's all about. And we're on the South Downs, and so just beyond this hedge here, that's where the miller's cottage is. So millwrights used to make and mend these things, but not live in them, but they had to be there for several hours, very, very busy, pouring the grain in, which could be wheat, barley or corn, and then flour coming out the other end, people paying to use the mills. And obviously the same principle was used for lumber mills and so forth, or water as well. So before we could harness electricity, you had this, but we've sort of gone full circle, pun intended, because now we've got those wind farms, wind turbines. There we go. Anyway, thoroughly engrossing. I didn't think I enjoyed it that much, but that's probably enough for me. I mean, the technology was quite tricky for me. I do understand wind moves things, but that's about the size of it. Okay. So, and I'll show you what's on the ground floor. I don't think I'll bother filming Jack, which is close by. And look, is that an old grindstone or millstone? So volunteers operating it. And look, they've got brickwork down here, and they've got postcards from windmills from all over the world. Do you see? I've seen them in the Netherlands, I've seen them in South Africa, I've seen Le Moulin Rouge in Paris, not been operational for over a century, and so forth. So you get the idea. We don't have that many in Ireland, actually, even though it's very, 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 very windy in Ireland. Okay. So that's it. You think they could risk a fireplace down here, but they didn't. And another millstone. We wouldn't want that millstone around your neck. Right, thank you for watching my video. Please send your comments and make sure you subscribe on Patreon, donate PayPal, georgecallahan79@gmail.com. Goodbye.